So, you know that I'm a big fan of something called the hobby hustle. And that's when you have a part time job that you do that is something related to your passions and your interests that doesn't really feel like work. It's more of something that you would do even if you weren't getting paid, but you're monetizing it in some way. That's a hobby hustle. But a lot of times people will say to me, JT, I don't have time for a hobby hustle. I have a full time job and then I have to come home and there's things for me to do. How am I going to fit this in? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If you aren't finding time for your hobby hustle, then you haven't picked the right one. Because the whole point of it is to have something that inspires you that you would do even if you couldn't make money. So I would go back to the drawing board and say, what should my hobby hustle really be? What interests do I have? What activities do I love to do? And how could I monetize those? That's when you're going to be able to find the time because you're going to be incented to want to do it. And then my suggestion to you is to make an appointment with yourself to use your hobby hustle. So what do I mean by that? Well, in the same way you go to the gym, you go to doctor's or dentist appointments, you make time to see family and friends, etc., you should be scheduling time each and every week to work on your hobby hustle. Even if it's 30 minutes a week, it's time devoted to you really building up your craft in that area. And the reason I have you do this is because, as you know, we always tell you every job is temporary. So when you diversify and you build a hobby hustle, what you're doing is building up a skill set that's employable. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen people have a hobby hustle that's grown so big it's become their full-time gig, or unexpectedly they lose their full-time gig and they at least have the hobby hustle to fall back on. So my advice to you is find the hobby hustle that you're inspired by, make time every single week to devote to it, and keep in mind your motivation should be the fact that someday it could really come in handy.